Hello all, I'm Hannah and I'm going to discuss my position on beliefs on CEOs and their job at hand. Chief Executive Officer, or CEO, is a position of power and the person in charge of a company. They need to have outstanding leadership and a strong work ethic. Fair compensation for a CEO, in my opinion, is relative to the size of the company. How many employees there are, what benefits other than salary he or she receives. A smaller company obviously should pay a CEO less money than a company with thousands of employees. The only way a person that is a CEO of a small company should make more than a larger company is if they are the only person that works for that company and would be the only employee to receive all the money that is being made. I believe that employees' pay should have nothing to do with how much the CEO makes. The amount of pressure that is on the head of the company should be much more than the average employee has. In saying that I believe that a company should pay its employees a fair and just salary for the work that they do within the company. The reason that I think this way is because a CEO has to run the entire company, know everything that's going on, and make sure the company stays viable and making money. I understand that an employee is in charge of keeping a certain part of a certain store functioning properly, but the CEO has to make sure that every store is functioning properly. I wrote about Lowe's in my mini paper 5. Their CEO is Marvin Ellison. He makes an annual base salary of $1.5 billion. He also receives stock options and restricted stock worth $6 million. On average, a Lowe's employee makes anywhere from $10 to $18.50 an hour and also has options for a stock purchase plan where stocks can be purchased at 15% discount and employees can contribute up to 20% base pay. The CEO's role within a company is making major corporate decisions, running the overall operations of the company, and they are the highest ranking executive in the company. The CEO acts as the main point of communication between the board of directors and corporate operations. I think that the whole reason companies have a CEO is so that there is one main contact for the company. If a very important decision needs to be made, all the suggestions are made from employees or whoever, and then the CEO makes the call on what he or she believes is the best option for that company. I don't think that this business practice should be changed. It makes the most sense so that there aren't a million people making the decision with what they think is best for the company. If someone disagreed with that thought, I would reiterate that having more than one person making the decision for a company can become a very sticky situation, and employees can become very confused on what path they are supposed to take because they're hearing multiple ideas. I believe that the CEO sets the tone for the company and the policies he or she instates, the values that he or she believes are important for the company to succeed, and also the decisions that he or she makes that can affect the entire operation of the company. The policies that are implemented show the way the company is trying to lead its employees and the outlook that they want for their consumers. The reason that the CEO should be responsible for implementing these values, policies, and decisions is because he or she is the head of the organization and they are in charge of making the major decisions for the company. Employees need to make their strongest effort to make sure these values and policies are carried out to make sure the consumer feels welcome and assisted during their visit to the company. At Lowe's, they say, "We are able to do what's right for our consumers and our community by doing what's right for our employees." I would say the most important issue facing CEOs are the decisions that they have to make every day. The decisions they make daily will determine the future of the company, if the company stays viable and stays profitable. The pressure that comes with being a CEO of a company has to be massive because not only do you have to make sure the company stays up to a certain level, you have to make sure you make the right decision for everything because you have thousands of employees that are underneath you making their ends meet to provide for them and their family. Any wrong decision could lead to them losing their jobs, which in turn could lead to them losing everything. If someone disagrees with this statement, then I would like for them to become a CEO of a Fortune 50 company and see how they would handle all the pressure and stress that would come with making the decisions and everything else in that position. Decision making isn't easy and you have to think of more than just yourself. you have to put every employee, stockholder, shareholder, and even consumers into consideration when doing so. Being a CEO is not an easy job, and I give kudos to all the CEOs out there.